Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 for Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. I apologize for the delay in getting this posted today. I had a few other things to take care of, and I certainly do appreciate any patience that has been given my way. I'm going to start with the NASDAQ 100, and today actually fits much, much better into what I'm using as my preferred count with the NASDAQ, which sways a little bit over to the S&P as well, obviously, since these are very closely related by several of the larger stocks. Now, here in the NASDAQ, I've been counting as actually I was in the S&P as well, but I can go over the alternate the two that I'm running side by side. This one goes on the basis that we've already completed minor wave 4, and that would have been at the August 5th or 4th low. And then what we've been going through is a five-wave rally of minute degree. So 5 waves need to be formed to complete minor wave 5. And out of that, we've done 1, 2, 3, and I think today we come down and we went to a new low, which was really what I was looking for it to do. It just kind of crossed over the 0.236 retracement, so that's Fibonacci retracement, and kind of came into a subsequent support area at today's low, which saw a very nice lift came off of that, and that low is 19,441. Now, here I am looking at like A, B, and then we got this C wave. It's not the prettiest, but it fits, and you can see it all in here. Now, what we're getting off of that, I'm going to bring it down to the 15-minute chart so that we can take a look. Okay, here we are. This is that lovely C wave down. You can see it was very difficult, very, very difficult. Now, there are some that are probably going to see a triangle in here, and it just doesn't fit because it's more like a channel and not a wedge. In any case, here we go. Here, I'm looking to see what that looks like, and I can open this up, and you can see it's pretty much just a straight line all the way up. I can consider that an impulse. No pullbacks, pretty much straight up. Small pullbacks, you can see them. Nothing to really get too worried about, or that we're getting a reversal, or it's only 3 waves up. This is very indicative when you're starting a move on a lower time frame and it's just all green. I mean, on the upper time frame, it's still going to be all green. So you have to really go down to like a 2-minute. Now, we're just at a 15-minute. I go down to the 5 to see what all this looked like inside, and I'm sure I could probably count 5 up, which would fit because if I'm counting this 4, I got 1. Now, remember, we're counting a minute 5th wave up, and it's going to consist of 5 waves of minuet degree. And it's that minuet degree which could really start to extend. So if this is 1 and this is 2, these numbers here, I'm going to change the color because they are all should be of the minute degree, because that's what we're working on, is that larger 5, and this is for that larger 5. Now, what do we got? Say okay. 618, I'm going to take off in the following reason, because it may, first of all, I'll leave it on, but I don't think it's going to finish it. Obviously, if this is 1, 2, we're getting ready to go through probably both of these. And tomorrow would be the day to do it. It may come late, it'll come after the close, but hey, you get what you get. So 15-minute chart, 1, 2, right? It didn't, it only equaled 1, ABC, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Put a 2 on it. And now let's see what we get going up. And if that's the case, and here are our upside lows for a third. Now looking for that, 3 would equal 1 at 19,832. Looking for more, that takes us right up to almost 20,000 just in the wave 3. I pull it back out and we look at the hourly chart and I open it up this way and bring it down just a tad. All right. What do we got? Wave 5. So these are actually the wrong color. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. This color, the minuet. These are the minuets. So we're getting ready to jump into the largest section, or should be the largest section of this fifth wave, and that's the minuet third. Here we go. 1, 2. So where does 3 come in? 19,832, 19,988, 216, 20,241. That could just be a third. And as we're moving through it, but also now I have the minute fifth wave, 618, not truly way up there in terms of what comes in, because most common is 5 equals 1, and that's at 20,637. Now that all-time high that we're going to want to look to eventually be broken here on this third is 20,983, 984. So we're looking for a much, I'm going to go back down to the hourly, and we start opening it up. 618 for 5 is 20,907. We got to go higher. We have 1.618 for the minute fifth wave at 21,376. That lives. These can be refined as the move continues, but this one will stand because it's the fifth wave, and now we're inside of it. So again, I think we could be on our way. What's the other side of the coin? Staying on the hourly chart would have to be that somehow the B wave finished here, and then we have to figure out what the heck all of this is. Best I can do, folks, is 1 ABC, and I can't even say 1 ABC 2 because this is all weird. Now, maybe if I were to bring it down and take a look at it on a line chart, 1, 2. 1 of 3, 2 of 3, dropping in a 3 of 3 type move, maybe, but not really that same look when you just take it over and put it on a bar chart. You got this big move in the middle. So it looks more like an A, B, C. That's why I'm labeling it 4. Otherwise, it would have to come in as 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 3. So this could be part, but still, I'm not going to go beyond that. This is not of a minute degree. This would all have to be very small. Because if we're falling, if this is wave B, right? Remember, the other count, if this is a wave B, this has to just go. That's the point I think we're at. It reveals itself and it has to go. And remember, what that would then suggest, if this is a B and we're falling in a C wave, then wave 4 is not over yet, the minor one, and we come back down to this area. My preference is leaning towards that we go up, not that we're going to fly down. But when you talk and you have to say, well, NVIDIA's earnings are coming out, the expectation is that they're going to blow the doors off again. That's what they consistently do. And that's even what analysts are saying. So they're putting it through their models and giving us the best case. So they're looking for something good. I think the quarter earnings are like $28.7 billion. I don't know what's good, I don't know what's bad. But in any case, most often, unless the initial number gives us a spike and then the conference throws some smoke and wet blankets on this whole thing. So, and then we could come flying down. So again, we could finish a spike up and call it minute wave 5, depending on how high it got, and depending, and this would be the kick. If we go up and we reach a level that we can count 5 and it is rejected, and believe me, I don't think counting 5 is going to be really easy after hours and depending on where it all begins. So it could be we get all the way up and then we spike to finish. It's going to be the rejection, which should basically almost come very, very soon after that initial, oh my God, we love it. Oh my God, we don't. We've all seen it. But in this particular case, because there's so much weight behind it, and then we have to carry over on how much is sitting in all of these different positions in all of these different markets. So again, my feeling right now is that 4 is in place and we're doing a 5 up, and then we're finishing on top of this. What we're finishing is an intermediate third. I'm going to take it one more time just to show you. I take it out here. See? Intermediate 1, intermediate 2. We're in that intermediate third still, and now we're into that 5th wave, most likely. As you can see, got a lot of giggly goop up here. So, but still, look at that. Bing, bing, bing. All right? And that's off of today. That's off of the this was the August 5th low. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 done on a weekly chart in that minute 5. So this thing's been setting us up actually since. But the B wave on a weekly does not fit as well anymore. So just saying that it would finish intermediate wave 3. And then guess what? We come all the way back down to this area. Now remember, right? Intermediate wave 3 done. That means an intermediate wave 4 is then in force. And what does that start off with? A pretty severe little drop to give you the announcement that it's now moving in force. And the high is in place for right now. But intermediate wave 4 would be expected to come and find its terminus, its endpoint within the price territory of the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree, and that's right here. Here we are. And here we are. So see how we're going to come back down to the same area we just were at? And they'll go, oh, all that held, time to rally. And unfortunately, the wave pattern would say, yeah, I agree, because we'd be looking for an intermediate wave 5 to take us all the way back up and again to new all-time highs. So that takes us through a lot that we got coming up. So all of this can happen. Getting up to that 5, if it's really going to happen that fast, then these next couple of weeks are going to be really nasty. If we pop to that high tomorrow or by the end of this week, I mean, we could take it day by day. In any case, I think tomorrow we might see that spike, but it might come late. So I think we'll work ourselves higher. Right now we're coming off. So let me go back down to that 15-minute chart to cover what could possibly, if we're looking at, we got a couple of things. First, I'm going to just put in some fibs for a wave 2. You can see it came down to the 50%. A wave 2 should certainly go to 618, which is 19,538. You can go to 786. Just cannot take out that low. Cannot take out that 19,441 low. Cannot. If it does, then it's something different. Then it's still a part of all of this. And then it might be that B wave. This is not going to turn into a 3, but it turned into a B. And then we're dropping. And this somehow comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, A, B, C, 2. So maybe we do go up, but it fails. And we come flying back down. Still could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how. It's ugly, but it could. It really could. Now, we're going to take it by day by day. Right now, I am really feeling that it needs to continue to move higher. Again, we could also run from here, and that's the A and the B, and now we're looking at the C wave. We're already past 100%, and now it's back above, so that's all good in terms of ABC down for a wave 2. If it's going to continue and tumble a little bit, well, it can drop another 70 points. We had 19,508 down here, and then it should not go below that. As a wave 2, should not go below that. Right, so we do have some support for continued decline. But right now, they're trying to hold it. They're trying to hold it. Okay, let's go over and take a look at the S&P because it's a whole different picture. Not totally whole, but doesn't look all that great. All right, let me go back out. Let's go back to that hourly chart, and you can see our mess. Now, if this is 3, somehow we've got to figure out, now the NASDAQ came down and went below that low. That made our life easy for the NASDAQ, right? Got a nice ABC, 4. Boom. S&P is not following along and didn't read the memo. So what do we got going on? I think that's still probably an A wave. A, B, C, much cleaner, slightly irregular, B wave. And now we got 1, 2, 1, 2, shouldn't be, it's just very strange. So now we're dealing with this, which is actually ABC. So we have probably 5, maybe it's only 3, but we have A, B, C, B, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, gotta fall off the cliff. If it's going to be a third, it's gotta fall off the cliff. And it should find support, and it does. If it's still a 4, it should find support 550, 55.50. And first at 55.85. And second, it just needs to get below 55.83. Once it gets below that, it will have put in a clean ABC, put in a new low. We can stick a 4 on that and it can rally. So this can drop, and the NASDAQ still has some room to come down, but not as hard. But it's actually not, I mean, we're looking at this thing is trading at 56.36. If it has to drop down to here, it's 41 points. Okay. Is that a big deal? No. If it falls, has to fall below here, add another 10. So it's 50, 51 points. Can it do that? Sure. And it can do it overnight. Get us all set to rally. So otherwise, what else could it be? Well, then I have to put the 4 here, and then I have no idea what all this is. And that's the truth. Because it's just strange. That in between is strange. And like I've said, okay, so let's put it on the line chart and see what it looks like. On the line chart, you can almost do a 1, 2. Maybe it needs to come down one more time, don't know. But you still can do that 1, 2, and it's like or 1, 2, 1, 2. And whoa, 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 we're going. We're going, although it shouldn't go below that. And it did. A little bit. So what becomes acceptable is also, but you see, you can do the 4, and you got 1, 2. B, ugly, uglier. But it's tough. It is really tough. But we're going to have to go with what the market is going to tell us. And so if there's failures somewhere, we'll find out. And I do get the triangle attitude. I get it. And if it's that, then this is 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 diagonal. But it's got to start to diagonal. And it could. So those are our choices right now. Either we're going to come down, put in a cleaner 4 and rally, or 3, 4, similar, except a little bit different in the NASDAQ, but it's diagonal. And where the NASDAQ is just going to do a straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like. So minute 3, minute 4, 1 of 5, 2 of 5. It's going to come off in 3. But it doesn't mean that the A wave can't be, maybe a little bit more, but I don't think so. But the third wave should definitely get above there. And that takes us to new high territory. Now, let's just put it in here that if 1, 2, what is it going to look like? And I also want to go out one more, and I want to take a look at this guy so I can see. That was that. Those are there. I'm leaving them there because we don't know if it's going to come down. But I want to take a look at this is 3 and that's 4, where we're going to run. So we have this to here to here. And now let me go back down to the hourly chart, and this is what we're looking at. So this is going to be a minute. I'm going to go here and change the colors. Appreciate your patience. Thank you again. And that, and that. So let's take a look. First one is 57.30. No, because we need it above 57.21, but that is above 57.21, but we need it to go substantially. So, and if this is 3 and that's a 4, my new 5 equals 1 at 58.22. I think that's a possibility. I really do. If our count is going to be 3, 4, and this is 1 of 3, 1 of 5, excuse me, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, we might launch. We might launch in an ABC, and the C is going to be strong, and we get up there. And it could come on NVIDIA's earnings, because we don't know where it's going to end up tomorrow, and whether they really are they going to kick the crap out of NVIDIA, or are they going to continue to buy it, even it out, maybe, you know, get it to close 130, 135, whatever, before they look for a new high. All right, so those are our levels, but how high can we get? We can get up to 58. We have others here. Those are irregular. Don't think it's going to be an irregular. I really don't. So I'm going to take that one off. So, okay, market, you're on your own on this in terms of that, you know, you can't go down that far. And that just leaves us with these, and that was for an upside move. And here is the minor wave 5, and that's at 5,800. And I definitely think that between now and Wednesday, we might be between 57 and 5,800. So there you have it. And let me go down to that 15-minute chart again. So really what we're looking at, that is for whom? Oh, let me edit the properties. Bing, bing. That only took them off one chart, didn't take it off. Okay, so if I put the 4 there, 1 of 5, 2 of 5, launch. Let's start putting some fibs on it. And this would be 1, 2. Actually, 2 would need a little bit more. But I will take it from there just because it is a good low, but not the low. It's a low of A. That's A, B. We should got 1, 2, 3, 4. We should come down one more time. But I'm going to take it from here. And so we're wave 3, certainly more than 100%, more like 1.618. Look where we are, 56.88. Well, on our way to get it surpassing 57.26. 21, and then 26 would definitely be worth it. And that could then be just wave 3. So wave 3 could be here, wave 3 could be here. And then we get a 4. And as long as we form a diagonal, right? Wave 3 is the highest. It's going to be 1 to 3, 2 to 4. As long as we diagonal, then I'm good. And we'll go from that. But that's kind of my take on how we take care of all this and how that works out. Market has to go, but our options are 2. So as a trader, you look at both sides. A break below here would start to signal that this was the B wave again. And then what do we got? I'm not sure. You know, as far as a B wave, and then what is this coming off? 1, 2, 1, 2. What does that say? We fall off. We fall off the cliff. We drop in the third wave precipitously, kind of as we've been seeing this afternoon. So that would be a clue. If we're still a part of what's a C wave to coming down, or the B wave. If we're part of the 4, we're looking for it to get below 55.80. We're looking at the possibility it could get as low as 55.50. That's 236. We already know NASDAQ did that part. So this would have to fall without the NASDAQ breaking to new lows as well. I mean, it could, but I mean, breaking below the levels that I gave. Tough call. So what works better? The 4, 1, and it's a diagonal going up. But both are possible. But you see, you can slant the scale a little bit based on what news, and that all could be a bust. All right, so that's how I'm going to leave it right now. I want to get this posted because, again, I'm late. Thank you very much for the patience and waiting, and thank you very much for coming in and taking a look. Next update will be post NVIDIA. So it'll be on Wednesday, August the 28th.